I really want to ask you what's the craziest place you've ever been asked to do the voice, but I'm afraid the answer is going to be a junket room.
I've never been asked to do all three. That's the first time I've ever done that.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Chris, good to see you again, my friend.
Nice to see you too, Jake.
I'm always curious, when an actor has animated roles, of which you have several great ones, I'm sort of curious what the rules are in terms of people are going to ask you to do the voice in public. And, are there places you'll do it and you won't do it? Or voicemails are okay? And most importantly, is there an age limit where it becomes creepy if you're asking Chris Pratt to do?
That final thing is the key. There is an age limit that it becomes creepy for all these things.
Sure.
Yeah. So if it's a kid, you always say yes, no matter what.
Where does
you have to kind of weigh it.
Where does a 36-year-old reporter fall in the realm of whether or not it's creepy?
I guess it'd be case-by-case study.
So if I hypothetically wanted to close my eyes and wanted to know what it would be like if Emmet and Garfield and Mario all met together in one room.
Whoa. Well, Garfield is very close to my voice. It's been a minute since I've done Mario, but gosh, I'm being put on the spot here, but Mario does this little thing. He's like, he's kind of like this. He's a little more like this. And then, Emmet Brickowski. Emmet is a little more like this. And then Garfield is kind of, he's like my own voice if I was about to yawn.
I really want to ask you what's the craziest place you've ever been asked to do the voice, but I'm afraid the answer is going to be a junket room.
I've never been asked to do all three. That's the first time I've ever done that, and so I don't know. It'll play back and people will be like, "Oh, I don't know." Hopefully
I thought that was gold.
Embarrassing. Okay,
I thought that was gold, my friend.
Thank you.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
No warm-ups, by the way.
Dude, that was
I
okay.
just stepped right into it.
Well, there's a reason you're a professional actor.
It wasn't creepy. It wasn't creepy.
Okay, that makes me feel better. I gotta be honest, I would not have asked that question if I hadn't interviewed you and known that you were an awesome guy. So,
what about just like no? Next question.
Then there are some I'd be like, oh, I didn't know I was interviewing fill in blank of tough actor.
You didn't know
who
this.
It is
Who is?
I'll tell you when the camera's not rolling.
Okay, good.
Because I'm afraid it's like you're gonna end up being someone. Anyway, so you're speaking of someone I love interviewing, the great Samuel L. Jackson. Correct me if I'm wrong. Your third movie with him still haven't been physically on camera with him. Is that correct?
That is correct.
At what point do you start taking that personally?
Wow, I didn't think that I should take it personally until just now. I guess if we do a fourth film and we haven't been on camera together, yeah, that's gonna be.
That's the one. Thinking of all the great Samuel L. Jackson movies, which one would you have loved to have played his son in?
Oh man, golly! I mean, listen. Does Jules have a son in Pulp Fiction? I like that. I like that he's walking the talk. He's like a guy who's into the gospel and he wants to just like quote the Bible. He'd be a good dad.
What if it's you that's in the briefcase? They like
Whoa.
Vincent opens the briefcase.
Right.
The glow.
Just me?
Right now, Quentin is working on Pulp Fiction 2.
Yeah, listen, you
Pulp
heard it here
Fiction's-
first. You heard it here
Give
first.
the people what they want.
That's exactly what they want, yeah.
I love that you have such a great history of going from comics, whether it be comic books or comic strips, to the big screen. But I was wondering if you could go the opposite direction, because obviously you have Star-Lord and Garfield as well.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could go the opposite direction. What's a great movie role of yours that you love that would be really cool to see in comic form?
Oh. Wow. I mean, Andy from Parks and Rec would be pretty good. He's set. There's fertile soil to be mined for comedy there.
I would 100% like the Adventures of Andy Dwyer.
Yeah.
You
wouldn't want to see like James Reese from The Terminalist in a comic strip,
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like funny. It'd be a little dark.
Moneyball,
still, maybe like a Mad Magazine version of either of those characters where you're lampooning it, but Andy's the only one funny enough, or his behavior's clownish enough to be in a comic strip, I think.
I know I'm biased, but I love your Chicago episode, man. Being a Chicago guy, I love that. The Grim of the Rap, I'm going to cut you loose on this. It is hard to believe. 10 years.
Yes.
This is the 10th anniversary of the very first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow.
2014?
2014.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. 10 years since.
Which is wild.
Wow.
I mean, so when you think about the trilogy and the Avengers films and the holiday special, how did that journey, that 10-year journey of Star-Lord, how was it different than maybe what you expected it to be when you initially signed on 10 years ago?
Brother, I was in this mindset of having no idea what to expect, but being ready for everything. and it didn't disappoint. I'll tell you that. I didn't expect that it would lead to other roles and open my life up and my career up the way that it did. And I wanted to be present and be ready for it. I've definitely had a lot to be grateful for.
For sure. Well, I'm grateful for this interview. I just want to end, man, by saying whenever people ask me, because I do this a lot, who are some of the nicest people you've interviewed, I always drop your name because we've been doing this for a very long time.
You always
go out of your way to be.
You know what? Your hairline
kind.
gets better every time I see you.
It's been fake for 20 years, and whenever I go home, I just pop it off.
Is
and
that
put it
right?
on a little.
You're in the right. I need that.
Ball is a cue ball, baby. Hey, man, thank you for always being so kind. I appreciate it.
Likewise, bro.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.